Level 1. The hangaround. You don't get invited, you show up. Friday night at a clubhouse somewhere outside Sacramento. The parking lot is nothing but Harleys. You ride in on yours, a used Sportster you bought with 6 months of overtime pay. Nobody greets you, nobody cares. You grab a beer and stand near the wall like you're waiting for a bus. The guys in leather vests with patches don't look at you. Your furniture. You come back the next Friday. And the one after that. You don't ask questions. You don't talk about what you see. After 3 months, a guy named Brick finally nods at you. That nod means more than any handshake you've ever gotten. You start doing small things. You help clean up after a party. You hold someone's jacket. You stand in the rain guarding bikes while the members are inside. You're not in the club. You're not even close. But you're in the building, and that's more than most people ever get. Level 2, the associate. Someone noticed you. Maybe it was Brick. Maybe it was the vice president. Either way, you've been bumped up. You're still not a member, but you're on the radar. You get invited to rides now, poker runs, charity events, barbecues at someone's ranch. You ride in formation, dead last, eating exhaust fumes from the 30 bikes in front of you. You don't complain. You start learning the culture. You learn that the vest is sacred. You never touch another man's cut. You learn that loyalty isn't a word here, it's a lifestyle. You watch how the members move. They don't explain themselves to anyone. They walk into a bar and the room shifts. People step aside. Not because they're scared. Okay, partly because they're scared, but because there's a gravity to it. You want that gravity. You've been hanging around for a year, maybe two. You have no patch, no title, no vote, but you've proven you can keep your mouth shut. And in this world, silence is currency. Level 3, the prospect. This is where it gets real. A full patch, member sponsors you. He vouches for you in front of the entire charter. If you embarrass him, that's on both of you. You get a bottom rocker on your vest with your chapter's location. That's it. No death head, no top rocker. You're half dressed and everyone knows it. Your job now? Everything nobody else wants to do. You guard the clubhouse at 3 a.m. while everyone sleeps. You clean bikes that aren't yours. You run errands across town at midnight because someone needs cigarettes. You get hazed, not frat house stuff, worse. They test your patience, your temper, your breaking point, and you take it. All of it, without a word. Because if you snap, if you swing back, if you so much as raise your voice to a full patch, you're done, permanently. This stage lasts anywhere from 6 months to 5 years. There's no timeline. The club decides when you're ready. You don't get a progress bar. You don't get updates. You just keep showing up, keep grinding, and hope that when the vote comes, every single member says yes, because it has to be unanimous. One no and you're out. Level 4, the full patch member. You made it. Church, that's what they call the meetings, goes silent when the president announces the vote. Every hand goes up. You get the death head on your back, the top rocker that says Hell's Angels, the bottom rocker with your state. You get tattooed with the date within 9 days. This ink isn't decoration, it's a receipt. You're in for life. There's no resignation letter, no 2-week notice. Once you're patched, you're expected at every meeting, every ride, every run. You pay monthly dues, you ride at least 12,000 miles a year, you don't associate with rival clubs, you don't talk to police, you don't speak to journalists, your vest never touches a jail cell floor. If you get arrested, you hand it to a brother before the cuffs go on. You now have voting rights. You have a say in club business, but you also carry the weight. If the club goes to war with the banditos or the outlaws, you ride. If a brother needs bail money at 4 a.m., you answer the phone. The patch gives you respect in every room you walk into. It also puts a target on your back for every cop, every federal agent, and every rival who wants to prove something. Level 5, the road captain. You've been patched for a few years. You know every back road in 3 states. The chapter trusts your judgment on the highway. Now you plan the rides. You map the routes. You coordinate stops, fuel, accommodations. Sounds simple, but when you're moving 40 bikes through unfamiliar territory, it's logistics on 2 wheels. You ride at the front of the formation alongside the president. You set the pace. If there's trouble on the road, a breakdown, a cop, a rival crew rolling up, you handle it. You're also the guy who notices when the formation breaks, when a prospect falls behind or a member drifts out of line. Discipline on the road is your responsibility. You keep the machine tight. You keep people alive. It's not glamorous, but it's essential. And the members who underestimate this role don't last long in leadership. Level 6, the sergeant at arms. You are the enforcer, the club's one-man justice system. You keep order during church. You maintain discipline across the chapter. If a member breaks a rule, misses meetings, disrespects a brother, runs his mouth to outsiders, you handle it. Sometimes that's a conversation. Sometimes it's not a conversation. You are the president's right hand when it comes to security. You sweep the clubhouse for bugs, you vet new hangarounds, you make sure nobody's wearing a wire. When the club rides, you watch the flanks. When the club meets, you watch the door. If a rival organization pushes into your territory, tagging your town, selling in your area, disrespecting your patch, you're the first one to respond. You don't wait for a committee vote, you act. The sergeant at arms is the position that can, in certain situations, override even the president. Because when it comes to the safety of the club, your word is law. You sleep light, you trust your instincts more than your friends, and you carry the kind of weight that ages you faster than the road ever could. Level 7, the vice president. You run the day-to-day operations of the chapter. The president is the face. You're the engine. You manage logistics, settle disputes between members, handle communications with other charters and allied clubs. When the president is unavailable, traveling, locked up, laying low, you step in with full authority. You attend regional meetings representing your chapter. You sit across from VPs of other charters and negotiate territory, coordinate runs, resolve conflicts before they become wars. You're also the one who sees the politics nobody else does, who's angling for power, who's skimming, who's talking to people they shouldn't be talking to. You manage personalities as much as you manage operations. Half your job is keeping ambitious men from destroying the chapter from the inside. Level 8, the chapter president. You run the charter. Every decision, every vote, every direction the chapter takes goes through you. You chair church. You represent the club to the outside world. That includes other organizations, the community, and sometimes law enforcement through your lawyer. You don't vote unless there's a tie. You lead by influence, not by force. The sergeant at arms handles force. You handle strategy. You decide when to expand, when to ally, when to go to war. Your chapter might have 10 members, it might have 30. Either way, every one of them looks to you. You meet with other presidents. You sit at tables where a handshake seals a deal worth more than any contract. You attend the West Coast or East Coast officers meeting where regional policy gets decided for dozens of chapters. You're also the biggest target. Federal investigations start with you. RICO cases are built around you. If the ATF or the FBI is watching your chapter, your photo is on the top of their board. You ride at the front of every formation. You carry yourself like a man who's earned every mile. But you also know that the seat you sit in has ended careers, ended freedom, ended lives. Every president before you either stepped down, got locked up, or got buried. There's no retirement plan, there's no golden parachute, there's just the patch, the road, and whatever time you've got left. Level 9, the legacy. They got you. Maybe it was a RICO indictment that took down your whole chapter. Maybe it was an undercover agent who spent 3 years pretending to be your brother. Maybe it was a bullet from a rival who decided your territory was worth more than your life. Either way, you're done. You're sitting in a federal courtroom or you're in the ground. Your vest gets returned to the club. Your tattoos stay. If you're alive, you do your time. You don't cooperate. You don't name names. You sit in a cell and you keep your mouth shut because even behind bars, you're still patched. And snitches don't survive in any world, inside or out. But here's the thing. The chapter doesn't fold when you go down. Someone steps into your seat before it's even cold. A new VP becomes president. A new prospect becomes a member. The bikes still ride. The Friday nights still happen. The formation still holds. You were the leader. Now you're a story they tell new hangarounds to remind them what the life costs. This is the Hells Angels. Not a gang, a brotherhood, a machine that's been running since 1948. And somewhere tonight, in a parking lot outside a clubhouse, there's a guy on a used Harley standing by the wall, holding a beer, waiting for someone to nod at him.